mga Guardians. Welcome back to PinoyGuard, the ultimate hub for all things defense and security in the Philippines. I'm Guard, your guide through the world of military updates, strategic insights, and everything you need to know to keep our nation safe and secure. Today, we've got an exciting topic lined up that's bound to capture your attention and ignite your patriotic spirit. But before we dive into that, make sure you're part of our growing community by hitting that subscribe button below. Join the Guard Squad and turn on notifications so you never miss a moment of our thrilling discussions. Trust me, you won't want to miss what we have in store for you today. It's an update that's not only crucial for our nation's security but also a testament to our commitment to keeping our waters safe and our sovereignty intact. Now, let's gear up and jump right into today's discussion. Today, we're unraveling the latest developments in the Philippines' military modernization plan, Horizon 3. Get ready for some jaw-dropping insights into the strategies and advancements that will shape the future of our national defense. But that's not all. Towards the end of the video, we've got a special message from a diplomat, shedding light on international support for our endeavors. Stick around until the very end to catch the exclusive details. As we dive deep into these crucial updates, I want to hear your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. What are your expectations for the future of our armed forces? Let's ignite a conversation that sparks the flame of patriotism. So, mga Guardians, grab your shields and helmets because we're about to embark on an information-packed journey. Let's watch together until the very end, and as always, stay vigilant, stay informed, and stay proud to be part of the PinoyGuard family. Subscribe, like, share, and follow us on social media. This is Guard, signing in, your trusted source for PinoyGuard. Let the adventure begin. The Philippine government has approved the revision of its military modernization plan, known as Horizon 3, allocating up to 2 trillion Philippine pesos, $35 billion, over the next 10 years. Signed by President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., Horizon 3 marks the final stage of a three-phase modernization initiative that began in 2013. As part of the plan, Manila aims to enhance its acquisition of modern weapons and equipment to bolster its defense capabilities against emerging threats. The goal of the plan is to strengthen the Philippine military, which still remains one of the weakest in the region. Specifically, it will focus on improving domain awareness, connectivity, surveillance, reconnaissance, and intelligence gathering capabilities. In line with the increased military budget, President Marcos has greenlit the third phase of military modernization, including the purchase of the country's first submarines, to safeguard its maritime sovereignty in the contested South China Sea. Commodore Roy Trinidad, the spokesperson for the Western Philippine Sea Navy, stated on Thursday that the third modernization phase reflects a strategic shift from internal defense to external defense. "We might not be a big navy, but we will have a navy that will safeguard our territorial rights and sovereignty," said Trinidad. Trinidad could not immediately specify how many submarines the Philippines intends to purchase, but he mentioned, definitely more than one. France, Spain, Korea, and Italy have expressed interest in supplying submarines to the Philippines. In line with these statements, on January 24, 2024, the French ambassador to Manila, Marie Fontenelle, stated that her country is very interested in being part of the modernization efforts of the armed forces of the Philippines. Besides pursuing formal agreements for joint military exercises and patrols, France is also discussing the potential sale of submarines, fighter aircraft, and other defense hardware to the Philippines. "Yes, it's true. We are still in discussions for submarines," she said during a visit to the Inquirer office on January 24th. "Many people are discussing it, and my impression is that there is still a need to explain the reasons. Maritime nations like the Philippines need to have submarine capabilities. It may not be so clear to everyone," Fontenelle said. "But in reality, it serves to deter threats. It is one of the most efficient tools. One fact is that if you don't have submarine capabilities, then you are much more exposed compared to other countries," she added. From these statements, it can be interpreted that China is so aggressive towards the Philippines because we do not yet possess submarines, making their naval vessels less of a concern for entering our waters, as they would not be silently submerged. Among Southeast Asian countries, Indonesia, Malaysia, Myanmar, Singapore, and Vietnam have submarine programs, while Thailand is reportedly planning to acquire submarines. Some opt for French submarines, while others choose different manufacturers. Fontenelle stated, "It's okay. They can choose whatever they want, but at least they have submarine capabilities. Of course, I want to sell submarines, but it would be even better if we not only sell the equipment but also knowledge, training, and all aspects that will enable you to maintain submarine capabilities independently." Before we continue our discussion, please always support this channel by subscribing and turning on notifications. Don't forget to like and share so this good news reaches all ears of the Filipino people. French submarines include nuclear attack submarines, conventional diesel-electric attack submarines, and nuclear ballistic missile submarines of various classes, operated by the French Navy as part of the French submarine force. Each French Navy ship has its own Fanion symbol for awards and military decorations. Let's examine the French diesel-electric submarine class, the Scorpene class. It is a class of diesel-electric attack submarines developed jointly by the French Navy Group, formerly DCNS, and the Spanish company Navantia. These submarines feature diesel propulsion and additional air-independent propulsion, AIP. Now marketed as Scorpene 2000. These submarines are projected as successors to the Agosta-class submarines that emerged in the 1970s. The Scorpene-class submarines have three subtypes: CM2000, the conventional diesel-electric version with a length of 61.7 meters. AM2000, an air-independent propulsion, AIP, derivative. MESMA AIP, stretching up to 70 meters. CA2000, a reduced version for coastal missions. SBR, the Brazilian Navy variant, CM2000, stretches up to 70.62 meters to accommodate more batteries. Chile and Malaysia's submarines are equipped with TSM 2233 Mk2 sonar. The class can also be fitted with Thales S-Cube sonar array. The French Naval Group offers the Module d'Energie Submarine Autonome (MESMA) system for Scorpene-class submarines. It is essentially a modified version of their nuclear propulsion system with heat generated by ethanol and oxygen. The combustion of stored ethanol and oxygen at a pressure of 60 atmospheres, 6.1 megapascals, produces steam that drives a conventional turbine power generator. This pressurized discharge allows the disposal of carbon dioxide into the sea at any depth without a discharge compressor. Each MESMA system costs about $50 minus $60 million. As installed in Scorpenes, these submarines require the addition of a new hull section, 8.3 meters, 27 feet, long, weighing 305 tons, allowing the submarines to operate for more than 21 days underwater depending on speed. Naval Group is also developing a second-generation hydrogen fuel cell AIP module for future Scorpene models. The countries using this type of submarine are: the Chilean Navy ordered 2 Scorpene-class submarines, replacing 2 Oberon-class submarines retired by the Chilean Navy. The Scorpene-class submarines O'Higgins and Carrera of the Chilean Navy were completed in 2005 and 2006, respectively. Malaysia ordered 2 Scorpene-class submarines worth 1.04 billion euros, approximately $4.78 billion. The Royal Malaysian Navy commissioned the 2 submarines, Tunku Abdul Rahman and Tun Abdul Razak, in 2009. India chose the Scorpene design, purchasing 6 submarines for $3 billion United States dollars, $500 million United States dollars per submarine. Under a technology transfer agreement, the state-owned Mazagon Dockyard in Mumbai would produce and deliver the submarines between 2012 and 2016, but the project ran 6 years behind schedule. Construction began on May 23, 2009. In August 2016, over 20,000 pages of classified submarine manuals were leaked by the Australian media, sparking controversy regarding the impact on India's aspirations to build blue water Navy submarines. Brazil purchased 4 enlarged Scorpenes for $10 billion United States dollars with a technology transfer agreement and a second agreement to develop French, Brazilian nuclear-powered submarines. The Brazilian submarine class is referred to as the Riachuelo class. Latest update. Indonesia has signed an agreement to purchase 6 Scorpene-class submarines and a weapons package from France. Advantages of the Philippines purchasing Scorpene submarines from France. Multifunction capability. The Scorpene-class submarines have the ability to carry up to 30 sea mines, making them ideal for safeguarding national waters and strategic maritime routes in the Philippines. With the capability to travel at a speed of 20 knots underwater and 12 knots on the surface, these submarines can swiftly respond to threats and uphold maritime sovereignty. State-of-the-art combat system. Equipped with the Submarine Tactical Integrated Combat System, SUBTICS, these submarines offer high-tech capabilities that enhance effectiveness in combat situations. SUBTICS has proven its efficacy on French Navy nuclear submarines. Variant flexibility. With 4 different variants, including those equipped with air-independent propulsion, AIP, technology for extended underwater endurance, the Philippines can select the variant that best suits its defense needs. The smaller California 2000 variant can also be optimized for coastal defense. Long operational duration. Variants with AIP technology enable submarines to stay submerged for up to 3 weeks without resurfacing. This provides the Philippines with the ability to undertake strategic missions without sacrificing operational availability. Modern weapons arsenal. Armed with anti-ship and anti-submarine torpedoes, as well as long-range missiles, Scorpene submarines can play a crucial role in the maritime defense of the Philippines. The capacity to carry 32 crew members and advanced stealth technology make them difficult to detect, providing a significant tactical advantage. France's commitment to the Philippines. Transfer of submarine technology and domestic manufacturing technology transfer. In the Scorpene Submarine Acquisition Agreement, France commits to transferring cutting-edge technology to the Philippines. This encompasses in-depth knowledge of submarine design, production, and maintenance, providing long-term advantages for the Philippine defense industry. Workforce training. France will provide specialized training programs for Filipino workers involved in submarine manufacturing, operation, and maintenance. This aims to enhance local skills and create a highly skilled workforce in submarine technology. Research and development funding. France promises to provide financial support for research and development projects in the Philippines related to submarine technology. This could include the development of new innovations, capability enhancements, and technology adjustments according to the country's needs. Industrial partnership. France and the Philippines will establish a strong industrial partnership. This involves collaboration between defense companies from both countries to ensure the sustainability of production, technology exchange, and joint development. Local manufacturing. France will support the Philippines' efforts to establish submarine manufacturing facilities domestically. This not only provides economic benefits but also allows the Philippines to be self-reliant in submarine production and maintenance. Full knowledge transfer. France is committed not only to transferring technology but also to providing comprehensive knowledge to the Philippines. This involves a profound understanding of every operational aspect of submarines, ensuring that the Philippines can manage and maintain a submarine fleet independently. Project sustainability. France guarantees the long-term sustainability of the project. By supporting the Philippines in building technological and industrial capacity, France is committed to maintaining the continuity of this project as part of the strong bilateral relationship between the two countries. By acquiring Scorpene submarines, the Philippines can enhance its maritime defense capabilities, secure national waters, and efficiently respond to potential threats in the region. Thank you, everyone, for sticking around till the end of this video. If you enjoyed our content today, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss out on any exciting updates from us. We're thrilled to see the growing support from all of you. Feel free to share your thoughts or ideas in the comment section below. We love hearing from you. Remember, your presence here means a lot to us and contributes to the growth of this channel. Let's build a positive and enthusiastic community together. Thanks again, and until next time.